Thank you for joining us for another segment for Engineering Week. Today, I'll be interviewing BJ, who is an engineer here at TLX Technologies. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
So, I'm really curious, what got you interested into engineering?
Well, it started off when I was a kid. I was big into like working with Legos and stuff like that. Used to have these huge collections of Legos. That progressed more into doing like high school shop classes where I was in like woods class, metals class, automotive. I did CAD drawings, and then I was also part of the first robotics team in Pewaukee when I was in school as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting. What were your next steps after high school?
So my next steps were a little bit more unconventional. I ended up wanting to find a job where I could work with my hands. So I went into mechanics, ended up being a diesel mechanic for 14 years. And had gone to college for that after high school. Um, and I really at that time didn't know what I wanted to do, but it was something that I enjoyed doing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm really interested. How did you get into engineering?
So after years of working as a mechanic, I started getting kind of like interested in like how the systems all work together. Like that was something that I learned on the job, and I wanted to go from instead of fixing those things, I wanted to design those things. So then I kind of progressed into this role, kind of through a few different channels.
I think that's really important. How did the skills that you learned being a mechanic help you out in engineering?
They were extremely helpful. Learning, like I said, learning the kind of cohesiveness of all the systems, learning how things work together, the different, whatever it's like, it could be sensors or the different tooling and stuff like that. In, like the job that I do now, I'm a manufacturing engineer, so I work with, the assembly part of what we make, which there's instances where we're trying to figure out what kind of tooling should we use, and I'll be like, oh hey, I used a tool like that when I was a mechanic, so that it's super helpful to know that kind of stuff.
Is there anything that you learned taking the route you did?
Absolutely. The biggest takeaway from taking a more unconventional route was that I really didn't know in high school what I wanted to do for a career, and I kind of just picked something that I knew I was pretty good at, and that I knew I would at least enjoy for a little bit. And over time, I realized that I wanted to do something different. I was tired of being greasy and stuff like that. So I ended up deciding that I didn't want to do that anymore. And late in life, moved to engineering. And, that's okay. You don't need to know exactly what you want to do fresh out of high school. You can, do a different job. And those job experiences can definitely help you in a future career that you may not even realize you want to do.
Yeah, I think that's really helpful as a high school student who's also taking those CAD and auto classes. And I don't really know what I want to do, and I have the next few years to figure it out. So thank you so much for joining us and giving us this helpful insight.
No problem.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.